And our special guest today, Mrs. Lacey Danielle Perrin, who has really turned her business up. I had the pleasure of meeting her in October at a meeting in Houston, and I was highly impressed with what she was doing with both herself and her team. So, Lacey, are you with me? There you are.
Hi. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us. How's your day going?
Great. Every day is a great day.
Awesome. So let's start here. You started at FFL. It was over a year ago, correct?
Correct. About a year and a half.
So a year and a half, and you were literally like a stone's throw away from being a Hall of Fame producer. You're one of the top female producers at FFL Priority Life in your first full year.
Correct.
That's awesome. What did you do prior to Family First Life?
Waitressing and bartending. So customer service industry.
Okay. So you did that your whole life. I know you have a beautiful daughter. Correct me if I'm wrong, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. One daughter.
One daughter.
Two daughters.
No,
one daughter, one son.
Two. Just one daughter. She's 2 years old.
Got it. So a 2-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
And you were literally on the cusp of Hall of Fame with a 2-year-old. So we're definitely going to talk about that balance, because I have, I have 2 on the way here, and I don't even know how I can kind of manage anything. So I need some help.
Congratulations for the new baby coming.
Yeah, thank you. So now you were in waitressing and in hospitality. What did you want to do with your career, prior to getting into FFL? What was kind of your vision?
I just knew I wanted a better life for my daughter. So I'm a very go with the flow, all in, kind of jump, take a leap of faith kind of person. So whenever I started FFL, I didn't know anything about FFL. My brother-in-law, Keith Christmas, was the one who introduced me to it. And I was just like, okay, let me go get my life insurance license. So I had no idea. I started when it was COVID going on, my dad passed away in June for that COVID year, 2019. So it was really hard to sell. So I wasn't, because we didn't have telesales then, right? And then after we had our opening, I kind of dug a little deeper of Family First Life and what I'm actually doing. So I didn't really have any big goals coming in. I was just I have to provide for my family, for my daughter.
That's awesome. We're going to talk about how that evolved. So first of all, I didn't know you were related to Keith. So I want to kind of start there, because obviously we talk about how we hire our warm market, how important it is. What did you see from him, and how did he present the opportunity to you?
I never had to question his finance stability at all. He has 6 kids, amazing brother-in-law, super transparent person. If you guys know Keith Christmas, he's awesome. He does a lot of training with mortgage protection. I'm sorry, I don't even know what the question was.
How he presented it to you.
He was just like, hey, Lace, I think you should get your life insurance license. And I was like, all right, well, let me look. And I said, I did. Okay, should I do real estate or should I do life insurance? I didn't have I had dropped out of high school. So I had to go back to school 10 years later to get my GED. Both real estate and life insurance required a high school diploma GED. So I went back to school to get that. I did my research, and real estate took a lot longer than your life insurance. And you get paid quicker. You could help more families. You don't have to wait 3-4 months to sell a house. You're more in control. So I got my GED, and then I went go get my life insurance license. And I was like, well, that makes sense.
So he literally just said to you hey, you should do this. This is a great opportunity.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's very active on social media. So obviously you saw things that he was posting on social media, what he was doing, has a big team. And you trusted him because you know him, because he's a great guy, right? And he's a great brother-in-law. Mm-hmm. So I think anybody on the call who's building, and I know we're going to talk about your team and what you're doing, your warm market, because they trust you, right? And then just being crazy transparent. He wasn't trying to sell you a dream that was unattainable. He was just like, hey, look, I think you should do this. you might be successful if you follow it. You might not, but I think you could be really good at it.
Yeah. I was the easy sell for sure. I was just like, all right, let me go do that. Let me get my license, you know.
That's awesome. All because he opened his mouth and he shared the opportunity. So now you mentioned, and it's interesting, you know, you not having, you know, the college degree, but now, you know, looking at your numbers, you're probably made this year 3 times what you would have if you had a bachelor's degree. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
think of how crazy that is.
it's a blessing for sure.
It's unbelievable. So now you get going, and I think all new agents, they go through the beginning ups and downs, right? And there's always like that make or break, let's call it 30 to 60 days. What did that look like for you? And I'm sure you struggled like we all have. What were your struggles and what kept you going?
So this is a very lonely business. It can be a very lonely business. So I was by myself. I would dial on my floor with my leads out. I had some old mortgage he would give me. I door knocked most of them because they didn't answer. And I would just be like, hey, is this you? I didn't know what I was doing, but I knew I had to go into a home because somebody requested my help. I think when you so I knew it made sense. I knew like, okay, I buy leads, I get paid, like it's real. But I didn't have that much time because I did have a new daughter. I'm a single mom. So I had daycare. It was in home, which was like $2,000 a month. I mean, they can get really expensive. And I booked my appointments. I thought I was full-time, but Nick Ayala made sure to tell me I was part-time because I was only doing like 20 appointments a week.
He's
But
good
I was
at
like,
that.
yeah, I was like, but I issue $20,000. He's like, yeah, why are you not full-time? I was like, because I got a daughter. Like, I'm a full-time mom. What are you talking about? And I just had to keep going. I mean, there was no other option. I wasn't going to go back to the waitressing industry. I wasn't, I mean, it was just my plan A, B, C, D, E. Like, we're going to figure it out.
So you mentioned something early there, like he gives you some leads, you're dialing some leads, you're figuring some stuff out, and you said like, my job is to go protect the family, and you started door knocking. So to me, when I hear that, I'm like, okay, one, Lacey knows how to work, and even though you weren't quote unquote full time yet, right? You knew how to work, and like you weren't afraid to like say, okay, I have 20 leads, let me get in the car, let me go knock on their door, let me see where that gets me. Like, so you had no confusion about the work that it took, correct?
Right.
And then even not knowing, that didn't stop you from getting in front of people, because I'm sure you had Keith as a lifeline, Nick as a lifeline, probably countless other people, but it was just, let me get in front of people.
Yeah, that's the main thing. I mean, I didn't know what I was doing. I would literally call Keith my first, every appointment I was in for the first like 3 months. Like, I would get in the home and be like, all right, Keith, like sometimes I would just put him on speakerphone, like, here, tell this guy why I'm here. Like, they're not understanding what I'm saying. Can you make it make sense to them? And he would, I would run the application and I'd be like, all right, you know, policy comes in the mail. Like, you don't have to know what you're doing here as far as product knowledge. You just have to go out in front of people and see what makes the most sense for them.
What did you struggle with in the first, let's call it like 3 months? Like, what was like, if I said, hey, Lacey's biggest struggle was this, and then I want to know how you overcame
it. Getting over the rejection, the rebuttals, because it's a very mental, you have to be mentally strong. I did a lot of mortgage, but I do a lot of CRM leads now. I do a mixture of both. And it's really just kind of like when I was at my house, I wasn't in an office. So I think I struggled on the phones the most as far as continuing to book up my day. If that makes sense.
No, it does make sense. So I'd assume you focused heavily on how to get better on the phone.
Yeah, I watched a lot of training. I dove into training after, so we had a grand opening in New Orleans for an office out here. I went to it. I plugged myself into that office. And then I would drive 2.5 hours. And I would plug into the office so I can be around people and I can hear, okay, well, they got hung up on, but they kept going. So I'm gonna keep going and I'm gonna book up my day. But then I would be gone from my daughter I wouldn't see her till like Thursday. And I'm like, all right, we got to figure something out. You know, like you're sleeping by the time I get home. So you're sleeping over at the babysitter. That's another bill. And it didn't make sense. I was like, I have to figure out a better schedule.
So how did you figure out a better schedule?
I moved closer to the office. Actually, I broke my lease in Lafayette. I live in Louisiana. I was about 30 minutes away from the office. I did daycare and I have 2 nannies who pick her up from school.
Wow. So you were all in. There's no looking back. There's no turning back. Correct. And it's funny, like how many people in corporate America, like I did it, they move for jobs, right? And they move for jobs that pay them like a fifth of what you're able to make and we're able to make. But you made that decision. And I'd assume if I asked you, that was probably a big turning point and where your business, your issue paid and everything kind of really went on the uptick for you.
It did, Steve. It honestly, this was after convention too, guys. So it's huge. The 3 things I got from convention was find a running buddy, you know, a competitive friend that you can run with and have it fun because it's lonely, get closer to an office. And if you want to build a team, hire good staff. And so I was in a slump around February of last year, going to convention, just like not running. I wanted to do all these things, but I didn't know how to. I wasn't reaching up like I should have. And so when I went to convention, I found a running buddy. I was like, all right, I'm going to move closer to the office. I'm going to be closer around the Sharks. And then fast forward, the hurricane took out the office and I have no running buddy. So, but I have a great staff member. So it just, you just have to dive in. So whenever you find that competitive friend that you can run with, now it's like, did you close them? Oh yeah, I'm a closer. You know what I mean? Did you close them? You know, and it's friendly. And my production really skyrocketed from there.
I did not realize that about the office with the hurricane.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So the big thing there the takeaway is for anybody that has a tough time, like, or tough things or tough elements, like everybody at FFL, like we deal with it.
Yeah.
Like we had a pandemic, we dealt with it. We got into virtual. We did, we do what we have to do. That doesn't always mean that the road is going to be clean. There's going to be bumps in the road. But as I talk, right, it's never clean, right? You're always going to go through the snowstorm, but like you find a way. And I think in talking to you mentally, you don't let it hold you back. You just keep it moving.
Correct. What am I going to do? Quit? Like, you're not going to quit. I have a daughter. That's it's unacceptable.
Can we get that on a shirt? Like, what are you going to do? Quit? We got to put that on a shirt. Somebody who owns a printing company, tell me, we got to put that on a shirt. Sean will wear it. I love it. So now you kind of really make that uptick in your business. From the side of like, you know, the technical, the in-home, you're obviously getting better on the phone, obviously booking more appointments. I've seen a lot of your posts. You're very happy. You seem very, very content and comfortable in the field, very content with clients. How has that evolved in your in-home and in the way you're able to protect families?
Repetition, just going in and how many families can I protect? What can I tweak? As far as in-home, I'm very straight to the point. Like Sean Mike says, be nice, but tell them what to do. That's me all day. Be nice, tell them what to do. I'm telling you what we're doing, and we're doing an application, and I'm going to see if I get you approved. But I'm nice, right? If it was up to me, I would approve you. I would approve everyone, but it's not up to me, Bob. It's up to the insurance company I think is going to approve you.
Wow.
So I tweak it.
I'm ready to buy a policy right now. And I'm the hardest guy to sell in America. See, you know what I love about what you just said and the way you said it? You get
What?
psychology. At what point did the light bulb go off from, hey, I just walked into houses and I got to call Keith and I don't know what the hell I'm doing, to now I'm telling Bob what to do? Like, how did that evolve?
How did it evolve from like, I think I was always like, this is what we're doing. Like, you don't really have an option. Even when I called him, I just didn't know what to write. Like, we're doing something. That's why I'm calling him. I just don't know what we're doing today, but we're doing something because I'm the doctor. So I'm going to reach up and I'm going to see what works best for you. But then once you start doing it, and you're more cut and dry, and then you get people who you'll leave and they're like, hey, can I cancel? And I'm like, were you under a spell? Like, yeah, wait till your policy comes in if you want to do that. You know, it's just like, does it make sense? Does it not make sense? And you just keep running and you just keep going. I have tweaked a few things. I do get a badge if y'all don't have a badge. So I did buy a badge. Credibility is huge for me. You get them for like $7 on FFL, familyfirstlife.com. West Coast had it before us. So if you hear Andrew Taylor talking about a badge, this is the badge. And then I do my state license and I print it out, and I have this with my driver's license on the table right whenever I'm walking in the home. So like right when we sit down and I say who I am and what I'm doing here today, I put my driver's license and I put my Louisiana state license on the table, because one or two things are going to happen. They're either going to say, hey, do I need my driver's license? Yes, Bob and Mary, you need your driver's license because we're doing an application.
I love that. I love that, because what's funny with credibility, you're showing visually credibility, but the real credibility is coming out of your mouth and your body language with people. And now when you combine all of that, it's like, yeah, like she's a professional. She knows what she's doing. You probably get less of the skepticism that we get of like, hey, you know, like, oh, I filled something out. Now you're at my house. Like, can I trust you kind of a thing?
Right.
So I love that you build that credibility.
I also have the lead with me. So I have my, I have a clipboard, and I bring my clipboard with me to every home. And so I have it out. That's what, like, this is what I have in my hand. So when I walk up to the door, I have my credibility sheet laminated. I have my lead on the front of it, and I'm bringing this to the door. And I'm bringing this to the table with me. So when I sit down, I'm putting the lead in front of them so they can read it, whatever, you know, why you filled it out. I'm not asking you why you filled it out. And I'm saying, hey, so I'm just an independent, I'm a broker and a field underwriter. My job's just to see what you qualify for. Okay. These are just a few of the companies that I do represent. I work with everyone here in Louisiana. So I'm letting them know, like, hey, I'm doing the shopping. You know, so this is what we're going to do today. Are you familiar with any of these policies? Do you have any of these policies? Go get that for me. Obviously, right? Always have them take out the policy. And I think that really helps build it of, this is what I'm doing. Like, we're either doing it or we're not, you know?
Why would I be at your house with a clipboard if we weren't getting you insurance?
Yeah, with your handwriting, and they're like, "Oh, that is my handwriting." Like midway in the appointment, they're like, "That is my writing." I know, Mary. I know. That's kind of crazy how that works, huh?
Can you record an in-home? Because now I want to watch one, because I think it would be hysterical.
I think I will. I'll get on that.
That would be a riot. So now, at what point, because I know, you know, when we met in Houston, which was October, my God, how time flies. You know, you talked a lot about your team. We did a little video for your team. At what point did you make the decision, I'm going to build a team and I want to build a business?
I think the first time I met you when we were at a conference in Houston, what stuck with me with what you told me was, hey, I don't know what logo or what team Nina and Hayden's on. I just know Nina and Hayden. You are your business. You're your billboard. Like, you have to make a name for yourself. Warm market is gold. Honestly, I have a phenomenal assistant, Taylor. He's amazing. I have a great staff. And when I left there, I was dabbling. So I would do ZipRecruiter. And then I would talk to Nick, and Nick would be like, oh my God, no, you're paying way too much for that. Cancel that. And I'd be like, okay. And then I changed my hiring ad for life insurance agents to a recruiter admin. So I found staff, because I feel like the most important thing for me that I learned from everyone is if you don't have good staff, you're going to fail, because you can't do everything. You have to run business, and they do everything besides run business. So staff is huge for me. And our warm market, majority of my agents come from warm market. So that's just me promoting me. I think we maybe have one licensed person from a recruiting ad, but everything else is really warm market. So just getting the word out there, because it is selfish of me if I don't spread this opportunity. And that's
Yeah. So yeah, and I love the warm market, because look, nobody, look, you're a product of it. I'm a product of it. I think if you looked at it, I bet you if you looked at like the top 25 in the company, the far majority, if I had to guess, probably 75% of them were somebody's warm market. So I think that's amazing. What do you do? Because this is something I'm working on, to tap into your warm market. Do you do anything there?
I tell them, so anyone I hire, I'm always like, social media is gold. You don't know who's following you. You don't know who needs help. Spread the word, like post, tell people about FFL. A lot of people don't know the great opportunity we have here. Starting to tag people more so they can repost, so they're friends. And a lot of them are like, well, if I'm not, I'm not successful, so I don't want to do it. No, that's selfish. Like, you don't have to know everything. That's why I'm here. Like, I'm going to help them. That's why we have everyone. That's why we have all these leaders around us, and mentors and coworkers and colleagues, so we can reach out and reach up. Like, and I have a lot of people I have a few people who hire their warm market, and they're in licensing right now. So I think just promotion, free promo, spreading the word.
So we're good. You mentioned convention earlier. We're going to kind of wrap with this. Convention now, biggest we've ever had at a baseball stadium in Miami. It's going to be like next level.
I'm excited.
It's going to be crazy. So you talked about the 3 takeaways, and I love how you instead of saying I took away 5,000 things, you focused on 3, because it's like what we do, right? You focus on like the simple things, and you do it really well, and you'll have success. What would you say in the way of the etiquette for the agent that comes to convention, how they attack it from the knowledge they're going to take away from it to bring back to their business, kind of the way that you did?
First thing I did whenever I left convention is I went over my notes, and I went over everything that I got from convention multiple times. Okay, so get your lead vendors. All right, check. Absorb it, reach out. Convention is to network. You have to network. That's the point. We're networking, we're hiring, we're recruiting, we're contacting people. Like, everyone on this call, like Steve G is the like top producer, right? Like, people are going to be meeting him for the first time. Like, you want to network with these people. Like, why would you not? Like, it's because you want to make a name for yourself. If you want to be successful, if you want to be in this business, and you want to run at a high rate and be productive, you have to have good people on your team. Like, you have to go network. You can't be afraid. You can't, even if you're not that social, like, go sit in the front row, have your notebook, record it, anything that you need to bring that home with you and implement that. I don't know if I answered your question.
No, you did, and then some.
Okay.
So you'd probably venture to guess, or agree with me, whatever you spent on that convention, flight, hotel, food, whatever it was probably one of the best investments you ever made in your life.
100%. I went to the Dallas one, and I drove from Louisiana to Dallas. It was maybe 6 hours. Don't quote me. And I got an Airbnb. I had 3 or 4 girls with me, so we all split it. Like, if there's a will, there's a way. Like, my motto is, there's a will, there's a way. Like, figure it out. What makes the most sense? Make it make sense. What makes sense? If you're short on money, share an Airbnb, share a hotel, drive if the flights are too expensive. Just get there. I didn't invest that much money, and I got way more leaving convention than going, you know?
I love that. And the other thing, just talking to you, your mindset around the convention, your business, everything is like, I'm just going to do it. I'm not going to think too much. I'm not going to overthink. I'm going to do it. I think the biggest thing that we deal with agents is they think way too much and they don't work. Stop thinking, start working, and it'll work out.
Yeah.
But think that it's going to work, as opposed to thinking like, oh my God, why? You could have easily said, I don't know, I need childcare for those 4 days. I can't go.
Mm-hmm.
You very easily could have did that, and you wouldn't have been in such a great position that you are now. So thank you for sharing that.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
All right. Well, I don't want to keep you because I know you're busy. I saw you got another call. You're a very hot commodity. Fired up to see you in whatever it is, a week and a half. Going to be an incredible event. So thank you so much. Anything that I can do for you or our team, please let me know. And really look forward to seeing you in a week and a half.
Yes, I'm excited to meet everybody.
All right, dear.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
You got it. Thank you so much.
So we have to do it. We have to do social media, right? So
sure.
we have to, I'm going to post you guys. I'm going to just do a boomerang and tag you, because free promo is free promo.
That's right. Do it. Everybody smile.
All right, let me do a boomerang. Love it. All right.
All right, dear.
Appreciate
you. Thank you.
Bye.
All right, guys, let's get back on the phone. Let's make sure that we're putting our appointments on the dial tracker. Definitely have a lot going on there. And let's kill it the next couple of days. 2022, the year of growth. We got to grow, and we have the team to do it. So appreciate you all, and we will see you next week.